Welcome to a new episode of Monkeys with Mouths. Sorry I've been gone for a minute. I've been super busy and life has changed a lot, but we're back and we're gonna get started. So today I'm gonna start with a few stories. Governor Andrew Cuomo. I'm going to talk about Governor Ron Desatis making fun of Joe Biden. I'm going to talk about Texas Democrats who still are being annoying. I'm going to talk about a Democratic state senator, Tony Navarrete, who is a Arizona Democrat. And I'm going to talk, about that dude. And then I'm going to give a few opinions on a few things that I've been seeing online every little bit, every once in a while. But before we get started, I want you to like, subscribe to this channel, hit notifications. I'm going to start posting more often. But I want you to do that. And I want you to follow my Instagram at Monkeys with Mouth Podcast and follow on Spotify as well. You can get the audio version of this. I'm on Anchor, so I should be broadcasting everywhere. The background is different. It won't be like this usual. I'm just in a different location right now, and I want to get some content out since I had some free time. So let's get started. So story number one. What should I start with? Let's start with something a little funny. A little funny and depressing. So today, Joe Biden had a press conference, and he was talking, and he said around 350 million. I couldn't tell if he said, many people couldn't tell if he said 350 or 315 million Americans have been vaccinated. And according to the amount of people who are actually in America who are alive, there's only like 340. And so he's 106%. 106% of America has been vaccinated. Of all Americans have been vaccinated. So it's kind of funny, that he messed that up. Of course, I think he meant doses because you get the actual estimate is like 130 million have been vaccinated. So for Pfizer, it's 2 doses, and for, I think just Pfizer's 2 doses. Moderna, maybe two doses as well. But how 2 doses? And so, it makes sense. But Joe Biden is still a clown. Other news, Kanye West. Today is August 6th, and Kanye West has not released Donda, which is super depressing. Even though the live premiere was incredible. Other news, so in the California re-election, the recall Gavin Newsom, Meet Kevin at Kevin Parthrat or at Meet Kevin on Twitter, at Real Meet Kevin. He is number 1 in the polls, so he's a Democrat, and he's Kevin Parthrat. He has 27% of the Newsom replacement ballots. And then second comes in Larry Elder at 23%. So the potential for him to win is very high, which is very exciting because he has real solutions. He's a Democrat, and that's fine. But if he has good solutions and good ideas on how to fix California, which is it should be an incredible state, 4th biggest economy in the world, or the biggest economy in the U.S. I'm not sure what it is. And then it has so much potential, but the government bureaucracy is terrible there. So it's good to see somebody who has potential to become a senator or a governor to succeed and to actually do good and to change, because he has a lot of good ideals. Second, talking about governors, Governor Andrew Cuomo faces criminal investigation in Albany after a report alleges he sexually harassed multiple women, including employees in his office, in violation of state and federal law. That is according to Axios. Opinions, Cuomo probably is guilty for sexually harassing these women, but he should not only face consequence for sexually harassing women, he should face consequence for literally murdering tens of thousands of old people, 15,000 old people, more, for just putting them after he was advised to not do it because they would die. He still put these elderlies in hospitals and then sent them back to nursing homes. And, well, the elderly passed away tragically. And so I think that's not being talked about a lot. That is very it's not covered up, but it's just not talked about very much. And so I think that should be more talked about, and then it should be broadcasted, and he should face serious consequences for what he did, because he should face some sort of penalty, because he hasn't faced anything, and he should face at least some sort of penalty over that instead of just the sexual harassment charges. So we'll see where that plays out. I'll try to keep you guys updated with what's going on there. Governor Ron DeSantis hits Biden. This is on Newsmax. DeSantis hits Biden's governor who? Zing. What else has he forgotten? So in this story, I'm going to read it. After President Joe Biden trolled Florida GOP Governor Ron DeSantis for vowing to stand in the way of lockdowns, mask mandates, and vaccine passports, asking Governor who? DeSantis fired back. I guess I'm not surprised that Biden doesn't remember me, DeSantis said at a news conference. I guess the question is, what else has he forgotten? After smiling and receiving laughs, DeSantis got serious for the issue. He says Biden has forgotten. Biden has forgotten about the crisis at the southern border. I can tell you that. DeSantis continued. Biden has forgotten about the inflation that is biting the budgets of families all throughout our country. Biden has forgotten about the demonstrators who are fighting for freedom down in Cuba. Biden is even forgetting about the Constitution itself, as we saw with what he did with the moratorium. The moratorium in which he referred to was the Center of Disease Control and Prevention's extended the ban on rental evictions, despite the U.S. Supreme Court ruling that it could not be done constitutionally, only through legislation in Congress. And then proceeded to detail who governor is. I'm the governor. Well, yeah, he begins to explain who he is and why he's good and why he's amazing, which I don't quite disagree with, but yeah. Then let's talk about, thoughts on that. Joe Biden, he's trying to be a funny guy, funny guy, but he's not really a funny guy. It's really depressing to see him try to be funny, because the dude is really, really, really not here. His brain is not here. He's clearly, his mental health is deteriorating, and it's sad to see. But apparently 82 million people voted for him, so I'm not going to say anything about that. Then next, this one is annoying. This one, at least for me that I live in Texas, this is infuriating. So Texas House Democrats mull next move ahead of second special session. Texas House Democrat lawmakers are mulling their next move as second special legislative session is set to be on Saturday, the Texas Tribune reported. More than 50 Texas Democrats fled to Washington, D.C. and remained there for more than 3 weeks as to avoid passing a new election integrity bill. State Representative Chris Turner, who leads the Democrats' House caucus, indicated Thursday evening that there was no immediate plan for the group of dissenting lawmakers. So the Democrats left Texas to deprive the House of a quorum, which is required to conduct official business. When we left nearly 4 weeks ago, we set out a clear goal, which was to kill the bill. Abbott on Thursday had ordered another special legislative session to try again passing the Republican-led vote. This time, he's asking lawmakers to change up rules in what constitutes the quorum. Democrats, while convening in their Washington hotel conference area, reviewed the governor's 17-item agenda for the second thing. So this annoys me because they're still not back. They're still chilling in Washington, D.C. off of tax dollars, not doing their job, which is the only thing that they were voted in to do. They're not doing their job. They're trying to make a point, but all they're doing is acting like whiny hoes, and they are. It's just annoying that they're not allowing this voter suppression when it's just reverting back to voting laws that we had before the pandemic, because we're slowly leaving the pandemic era. So it's not voter suppression. It's yeah. And so the whole thing with voter suppression and voter ID. Okay, whatever you think about voter ID, I want to ask you one question first. what do you think about vaccine passports or a vaccine mandatory vaccination? If you agree with mandatory vaccination, which most Democrats do, and do you know what most Democrats also agree with, is that voter ID is bad and you should get rid of it. There's kind of, I'd say, I don't know, it may just be me, but I think there's a little bit of a contradiction there between voter ID and vaccine passports. Because their whole excuse is that there's minorities who cannot get an ID. But how, if you're incapable of getting an ID, then I think it's going to be hard to get a vaccine passport, a vaccine proof of vaccination. I don't know. My thoughts are relevant, but I think if you think that people are incapable of getting an ID, which is super easy and very fast, and if you think, oh, then they have to be obligatory vaccinations and they have to carry that card, which you can easily lose, which doesn't fit in your wallet because it's too big, then I think you're kind of being a little hypocritical and not consistent with your ideologies. So that's just my thoughts on that. We'll see where that takes. Or where that goes. It's just dumb, you know? Politics, bureaucracy. Next story. Let's talk about, Joe Biden doing something illegal by extending the rent moratorium. That is completely unconstitutional. He went against the Third Amendment. He's being sued by rental property owners, but what can you do about it? This dude is clearly illegal, doing illegal stuff. Does anybody care? Is the media talking about it? No, you don't see anything. You just see, he extends moratorium. Yeah, well, it's illegal. So just putting that out there if you didn't know. Then this story is a little bit more disgusting. This is from AZ Central. Democrat State Senators Tony Navarrete arrested on suspicion of intercourse with a minor. So State Senator Otoniel Tony Navarrete, a Phoenix Democrat, was arrested on Thursday on suspicion of multiple counts of sexual conduct with a minor. That is nasty. Navarrete was arrested near the 27th Avenue, a Bethany Home Road and booked until, as long as other charges. Police are receiving the report on August 4th. And so he was arrested that next day. This is disgusting, Another case of child predation that thankfully the media is talking about. How long will it be in the media? Not very long. Just like the Epstein stuff, not very long. But yeah. So that's a kind of a low point, I'd say. Just because that's just nasty. That should not happen. I don't get why people do that. I don't get the mentality that leads you to think that that's something that you can do. And you see all these famous people, all these celebrities doing the same thing in which they try to groom minors, and it's disgusting and it's horrifying. And these people should not have the power. They should not be in the positions that they are because of what they do. And it's really gross, and I think they should face serious, serious consequences, because that is one thing that I will never forgive is child predation. That is something that I can't forgive. And if I do forgive, it's very hard, and there's no trust there. But I can maybe forgive, but I wouldn't trust the person. But that's one thing that is just awful that I don't get why people don't talk about it more, because it's clearly a reality in this world, but nobody really talks about it. Tucker Carlson is in the news. White House nervous as Biden has the worst record for confirmed appointees in this year. I don't know. That's the news. There's not very much news that's big. Inflation is going up. Prices are going up. I went to the grocery store recently, and prices are crazy high, like crazy high. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. That's about it for today. Um, kind of ended on a sour note, which I don't want to do very often. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like, subscribe, do all that good stuff, and yeah, I'll try to keep posting content. The Olympics are looking pretty cool. Um, it's pretty cool to see the top people compete. Um, and I mean, if you're doing the Olympics and representing your country, then at least be proud of the country that you're representing, because it's allowing you to be in the position that you're in. I don't know, maybe an unpopular opinion, but I think it's common sense. Um, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. There's not much in the news today that I could find. But yeah, hope you guys. I've said this again. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.